And so I left some of the crap up, you know, some of the language and stuff, just because I was making the point that these are the kind of idiots I'm dealing with, you know, people who can't even, you know, complete a sentence without, you know, abusing the English language. So anyway, the mayor was directed through emails to these pages. Like, you couldn't get to these pages from the search engine. You couldn't get to these pages from any place on the internet, you know, relevant to the town of Mendham. You can only get to these pages if you were within this community of search engine experts. And so anyway, they directed them to these pages, and the mayor had the impression, at least that's what he said, yeah, at least that's what he implied in his complaints to me, was that somehow this was inappropriate behavior on my part to have my content on the same server that I was paying for that the town website was on. And I explained to the mayor that there's no way anybody from Mendham or the town could ever see this content. It had nothing to do with the town website at all. And he seemed unconvinced, but yet in an email I later recovered, where he's communicating with these terrorists, he even admits to one of the terrorists, he says, "How do I find more of these pages? They don't seem to be accessible." And so he's admitting that he can't find the pages, and the only way he can find them is to ask the terrorists where they are. You know, so you know, his complaint to me was just so, you know, dishonest in a sense. So anyway, he complained to me, and you know, I tried to explain it, and I was polite and nice about it, and I said, you know, da-da-da-da. And then he starts telling me, well, you have to remove the content. You have to, the word he couldn't stand was the word shit. You know, that was just the end of the world. Couldn't have the word shit written somewhere. So anyway, you know, words. You know, people are afraid of words. This guy's a mayor of a town, he's afraid of words. So anyway, I'm like, you know, no, I'm not gonna, you know, censor this content. I didn't write the word, but I'm certainly not gonna, you know, censor it because you say so. It's none of your business. This is my, I'm paying for this web space. It's my voice. It's not your voice. It's my voice. And I'll say whatever the hell I like. And so I was sort of emphatic about that. I mean, it wasn't as rude as I just was now, but I just made the point that no, I'm not going to do that. And so we're going to have to come up with some other arrangement. I mean, you know, I never volunteered to be your slave. We came to an agreement about a website. And I've met my agreement. And if you don't like the terms, well, that's fine. I'll just take my website and make it a private website, an independent website. You know, I'm not getting that much information from you town people anyway. I'm doing all the work, and you're providing me with nothing. You know, I was looking in the phone book to get public information to put on the website. That's how ludicrous it was. I couldn't even get phone numbers for different offices from the people that work in the town. So, I mean, they were providing me just minuscule amount of content. And so there was other, you know, so anyway, so with the mayor we had this conversation, we came to, you know, I thought an amicable agreement. And I just suggested, look, you want to pay for the space, then you can have complete editorial control over that whole entire server, but you're not going to have that control on space I'm paying for, because it's my space. I mean, I'm letting the town use my space, but it's my space. I paid for it. So anyway, that was the agreement. And at that time it cost about $230 for a year to purchase space on the internet. And so that was the agreement. They would pay me $230. I would set up new independent web space, and everything was fine. And so we lived with that for a little over a year. And I didn't really communicate with the mayor much anymore because he said the administrator was going to take over responsibility for the website, and so I just dealt with the town administrator, a guy named Ralph Blakesley, a complete asshole. And so anyway, you know, so I was still doing the website. I was still trying to do my very best. There's just nobody could ever argue the content wasn't good. No one could argue anything I did was ever wrong or inappropriate or incompetent or anything like that. It was, I could have created the best website in the universe if they would allowed me to, because that's how devoted and how sincere I was in wanting to create this website. But I got no cooperation from the town. And so then, you know, about a year after this incident with the mayor, Well, it was more than a year, 15 months, whatever. Well, it was really a year for this one instance. So the mayor, I wasn't getting town minutes. They weren't providing me minutes from council meetings or any of that kind of stuff, even though I had requested that we organize that and get that stuff on the internet, on the website. They weren't providing them. So I had no idea what went on in council meetings. I never went to one, never saw one. And so later I found out that at a council meeting, 2 council meetings actually, the mayor had basically fired me. He said I was to be replaced, and ordered the borough administrator basically to inform me that I was to be replaced. No explanation, nothing like that. But anyway, so I knew nothing about that. And the administrator for the next 5 months communicated with me like nothing had happened. Never told me that the mayor had basically already fired me. Nothing. Said nothing about it. And and then about 3 months after the mayor had fired me, there was this ad for the newsletter